Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. So today I will. The topic is introduction to Tao Te Ching. I'm reading and
Oh,
learning Tao Te Ching, and today I'll give a brief introduction of the book that I understand. And at this point of time, and I'm only studying the surface, so what I share would be general description and the background information. According to a philosophy and spiritual leader, to really understand the book, it may take several lifetime. Several lifetime. So this one we have 10 minutes. Right. Okay. So I will cover in this sharing four items. One is who's the author. Second, the content of the book. Third is the definition of Tao. And lastly will be why is it popular and worth study. So first thing is who is the author? The author is Lao Tzu. He was born like around 2,600 years ago, like around 600 years BC, and he's originated the Taoism. Um, so in Chinese culture there are three, and not only Chinese, Eastern Asian, like in China, Japan, Korea, or Vietnam. There are three main ideologies like Taoism, Confucianism, and Buddhism. They shape the cultures and in those countries, Eastern Asian, and this is one of the three. And Lao Tzu was a librarian in government officer in the Zhou country in China, and he was a wise man and much respected in China. So Confucius paid lots of respect to Lao Tzu, and he seek advices from Lao Tzu a few times. And once Lao Tzu was enlightened, whereby he finally understood the truth of life, he left the society, the life, to live, to go into the nature. And on the way out of the gate, the gatekeeper who knew and admired Lao Tzu so much, and he insisted Lao Tzu to stay for a while, a few days, to write a book. And this book is called Tao Te Ching. So what does the book tell? First, the meaning. Tao means way, right? Generally, I think Serene can tell. So generally, it means way. De means virtues. So it means like Ching is a book. So it's a book of the way and the virtues of the so-called the nature that is not powerful but not forceful. Yeah. So that is the general meaning of the title of the book. Lao Tzu studies and observe the nature. So this is the second point. What does the book tell? So he studies and observes the nature. The book records the laws, the principles of the nature that he learned. Then he shows how to apply it in our life so that we are following the nature way. These are the virtues. So there are two parts Tao Ting. The book, there are total 81 chapters or verses. Uh, from 1 to 37, like around half, is called Tao Ching. It is talking about the like origin of universe and the life, and the second part from 38 to 81, around half of it, is about the virtues, the power without the force. And each of these, the total of the book is around 5,000 characters. It's a very small thin books, and each of the chapter is also a few, like it's a poem, maybe five or three, four, five, six lines, very short, very small book. The book could offer the answer to the ultimate questions of life and death. This is the questions that all the religions in the world is trying to explain, like Christian and all the religions. What is it, life and death? So this book can offer that the answers to this question. The application of the book could be in many aspects of life, like business, personal, leadership, art, gardening, sports, spiritual. And so, third point I want to touch is what is Tao? Tao, translated to English, is way, as I just mentioned, and it is the mother of all. It is the origins of all things in the universe. So what we see in the universe, like a galaxy, the stars, the sun, the planets, and in the planets, in our planet Earth, we have the oceans, the plants, the natures, the stone, the animals, the trees. So all of this originated from one source called Tao, and consider the mother of all religion as well. So all religions refer to an original source that creates everything, and you may call it like God, Buddha, Allah, right? And all refers to the same thing. And Lao Tzu reluctantly call it Tao. Actually, he said that um, it is something that you cannot name. If you name, then it's not eternal. But for the purpose of uh, communication, you need to tell what is this, right? So he just choose just one word down, but actually there's no name because it's eternal, it's infinite, it's no end, no beginning. It's the original. It's give birth to the whole life, to the whole universe, to everything. And there's no shape, no color. You cannot describe it. It is there first before everything, and it is present in everything, like in the human, in our body, in the animals, in the plants, in the trees. It is the in the Buddhism they call it the emptiness. It's a void. So in our body, for example, in our body, we think that is solid, right? But then if you look inside deeper, like you take the microscope, you go inside deeper, then you see like there's a void. And if you go deeper, 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 then suddenly there's nothing. So if what we thought matters like human body or everything else. Actually, when we go very deep, very very deep, you see all is actually a void. Yeah, and this one is already proven in the scientific community, in the quantum physics, and even deeper when we have the technologies to look deeper inside. There's no beginning, no end. It's bottomless, never exhausted. So I understand it's like it's an energy, it's a soul, it's a spirit inside living things. It is void, it is emptiness, as I mentioned. So why is it popular? There are around 14,000 copies of translated Tao Te Ching worldwide,
It's almost
according
8
to
minutes.
8 minutes. Okay, and it's the most translated book and only second to Bible. And currently, there's a hot wave in the Western world to study the wisdom of Tao Te Ching, and the content is very concise and it's mentioned, and also just now I mentioned science is slowly uncovering the life with the microscope and telescope. With the microscope, as I mentioned, we now understand deeper, deeper in all those small, small items. And with telescope, you can study the universe outside the Earth and understand the origin. And all of them actually is slowly proving what is mentioned in this Tao Te Ching book is correct. That's the origin of life. So in conclusion, Tao Te Ching is a great treasure, and we could learn and apply to our lives so that we live harmoniously with the nature and can have inner peace. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoom, for your sharing. Leave it open to questions. Anyone who has a question or would like to share?
I have a question, though.
Yes.
What made you get inspired to read this book? Because it's so deep.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
very abstract.
Yes.
It's
Good
also
question.
quite
Mm.
challenging to understand. about life in terms of its deeper meaning if you've not experienced it. So if you haven't self-reflected deeply about yourself as to where you are and to what aspect of your life you are right now, how can you relate to somebody who has not reflected deeper? So how can you encourage people to read this book?
Okay.
Because it's quite deep.
Yes, it's very deep. As I mentioned, it can take several lifetime, and some people maybe may not never recognize this, never understand, right? But if you study, even it's just a very small books, and people said, right, it takes several lifetime to really understand. Because intellectually, maybe you read, I think 1 hour you can finish the book, right, or less than 1 hour. But understand it is a different thing. Yeah. So why am I studying this now? Because first of all, I think I first to know this in secondary school, maybe around 15 years ago. My friends that time he studied this book and he gave me, or he talked about this. He talked about water, Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu. Then he take the example of water is like humble, very strong, this kind of thing. And last time I practiced martial arts a bit, I learned about the Wing Chun, the one Wing Chun, the one like using the feminine martial arts. So all this one is from Tao as well. And recently I was introduced by Sri to Dr. Wayne Dyer, and when I listen to his thing, I see his books, and one thing he talked about is few years ago he lived one project. 1 year he spent 1 year to study this book, and one verse he used 3 to 4 days to contemplate. So 1 year then he write some essays, and he come out with a book called "Change Your Thought, Change Your Life, and Live the Way of Tao" or something like that. Yeah. So and he said that the reason why he read is something is that keep coming back to him, and he read a story of someone who was have a drug addict, and he overcame this drug addict by reading and contemplating this Tao Te Ching. And Dr. Wayne Dyer, he said, wow, if there's such impact in this, then there must be something that he studied this. So it's also coming back to me as well. Like after many years, I heard about this thing, and I love the concept of follow the nature, right? Then that's why I want to. And when I read and I watch a video on YouTube, there are some people who spiritual leader, they explain about this, and then yeah, it's nice. So I want to study and follow learn how to live following the nature, the law of nature. Yeah. And recently actually I was also reading one philosopher is called Buckminster Fuller. I think it was introduced in QL as well, and his concept is very similar. I think he's like living down as well, because the way he say is following the nature. He study the nature, then he come out with different law of precession or this stuff. But the main thesis is we learn from nature and live harmoniously with the nature. Yeah. So all this I think makes sense for me. And when I hear about other people talk about it and how deep, how it's like mother is give the ultimate truth. Yeah. So yeah, that's why I want to listen. And I'm watching one lecture videos on YouTube, not one, a series of around 10 lectures. As a professor, I think someone from China, I think Kong Hai. Maybe I send you the link. His lecture is very good. So he explaining the meaning of all this Tao, and he explained with the scientific, like just I mentioned the
In 5 minutes
physics.
up.
Yeah, yeah.
2 more
So
minutes.
why as I think maybe I like those stuff like philosophical or meaning and life like that. So when I listen to those people talking about this, I like it. So just want to understand it and live, because when we learn like in MTM, we're talking about the mission, right? Passion, all these things. it is the same thing. I think the passion or mission is actually like flow, go with the flow, or all this meditation. It's try to get in touch with the flow. Flow here is actually a Tao, it's a nature. Yeah. So I find it. Oh, this it work. It is. It makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So 7
Thank
about.
you.
Thank you. Any other question?
Any other question, Cyril?
No question for me, but I find that it's probably not enough time to actually have a deeper understanding of the book. Yeah, but
That's true.
that was a good
It's like
question
an
from
intro.
Hina.
Yeah. For that, we need to have a different session.
It's like a synopsis of the back cover of the book.
But the idea
Yeah.
is, in this case, the idea is that Zung has introduced something new to all of us. Maybe some of us have heard it before, maybe some have not. And then if what he said interests you, then we can take it further, go look for it, go find a master to teach you. Because my experience of the book, you can't just read. I mean, you can contemplate, but if you have a master to guide you who, understands the book like you've been seeing on YouTube videos, but I think what it has helped us is introduce us that there is such a thing. So we are very thankful for that.
Yes.
And then I guess, we need to really understand the book, we need to take it further.
Hmm.
Yeah, agree.
So I appreciate that.
Yes. Thank
Okay,
you. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't know about this book till Dong actually spoke about it, so it's a knowledge that I've learned today in my 40s.
And
We're always learning. Change is the constant.
yeah, what I will do is later I will post the I mean in the summary of the things I summarize what I write here, and I will include the link of the YouTube. It is like 10 hours, I think, maybe around 9 or 10 hours lectures. Each is about 50 minutes. This Chinese master is explaining, and it's very good. I like it. Yeah, from he explained to a group of a classroom like in a layman term for people to understand. Yeah.
That's great.
Perfect.
Yes.
That's good.
Perfect. Yeah, that would help us.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so with
Okay.
that, I thank all of you for joining. Thank you, Zung, for introducing us to such amazing wisdom, a book, full of, like the ancient books really have the true wisdom. So thank you for introducing us. And we'll see you all next time.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Saskia.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.